Okay, minasan, this is crazy. Right after we finished Geats finale, immediately we got teased with a V Cinema that is gonna get released next year on the 24th of July. It is the V Cinema that we are actually finally gonna get the final form of Kamen Rider Buffa, and it is looking really good. So without further ado, we want to jump straight into the trailer right now. Okay, Jyamato. Then we get to see Tycoon. Everyone is back. BEROBA is back. That is crazy. Set Liberation. Okay, so we actually get to hear Set Liberation, and I would assume that is gonna be the kind of like the sound effect for Plosion Rash. For those who have yet to know what is the name of the new rice buckle Buffa is gonna use, it is actually called Plosion Rash. And I felt like the reason why it's called Plosion Rash is because it's a word of play between poison and explosion, so it's kind of like a Plosion Rash, but it is also kind of like a meme in the Kamen Rider Geats series, and that is like Buffa or Michi. Okay, the actor of Michi always kind of like say like, where is the law in Buffa law? Where is the law of Buffa? Like, where is it, and where is it? And we finally get to see it. The LO of the Buffa law actually stays in the Plosion word itself. Okay, so that is really fun, really crazy. But with that being said, we want to go through the trailer scene by scene to kind of figure out what we can actually learn from the trailer itself. And we actually started out the trailer in a really crazy scene, and that is we started out with Daichi, one of the weirdest character, I would say, because I felt like a lot of people are not really happy with how his character actually end up being. Like, he has so much screen time, he actually become kind of like the next Archimedo itself, and he is kind of like the father of the current Jyamato, something like that. So I am really surprised that they actually started out the trailer with him and he saying that, hey, the Jyamato is back. So it actually makes me wonder, okay, like, is this a similar timeline of Kamen Rider Geats itself, or this is kind of like an alternate timeline that we are gonna get for the series itself? Because there is a possibility that this V Cinema that we're gonna get is not gonna be canon to the story itself. But with that being said, I don't think Yuya Takashi is gonna write an alternate ending to Kamen Rider Geats. Instead, they are definitely gonna use this opportunity to write a continuation to the story itself. Because one of the thing that a lot of people is like very like not happy about when we actually get to see the story of Buffa, the story of Michinaga itself, is when we actually saw like Buffa kind of like doesn't have any consequences whatsoever when he actually uses the Jyamato rice buckle, and that Jyamato rice buckle thing got reset when the war actually was being reset at the same time. So a lot of people is like, what is this shit? Like, why are we even like worried or even care about like Buffa becoming the Jyamato, using the Jyamato rice buckle and all? Like, it has been teased to us that, hey, like maybe there's gonna turn into something, but we never actually get to see it happening at all. So this story is definitely gonna be focused on maybe, okay, because later in the trailer we're gonna see a scene that is like really interesting. After Daichi saying that, hey, Jyamato like actually like start to show up, something like that, we get to see a worried face of Sumari, and if we pay a close attention, she is currently inside the waiting room of the DGP lounge itself. So why is she here? We are not sure, but we actually know at the finale of Kamen Rider Geats, Jin actually says that, hey, the DGP is gonna get restarted, and this time that we are still gonna do something about the DGP, something like that. And we actually get to see, like, right after Geats ending on December, we are actually gonna get a Geats extra, kind of like similar to Kamen Rider Shinobi meets Kamen Rider Tycoon and Kamen Rider Punk Jack, we are actually gonna get a Geats extra for Michi's days off, and in that spin-off series that we are actually gonna see Michi might participate in the new DGP that Jin actually talked about. Okay, so when we actually get to see Sumuri here, it might actually kind of give us an idea that maybe like the DGP is up and running, and this is something that like a happy game turns into a sad game once again, something like that. Because remember, they are from the future, and people from the future can always come back to the past. And one thing that I also mentioned in my previous episode, my last episode preview, my last episode review, is I actually talk about that maybe BEROBA and Kekra is not dead, because like we don't really understand how the future people works itself. Like, are they actually dead, or like other people, the body that they use in the present day is their actual body, or it is just kind of like an avatar, something like that? Because in this trailer we do actually get to see BEROBA back in action. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me move on to the next scene. This is the scene where I actually talk about that Buffer might actually be feeling the side effect of Jyamato finally. Like, he's kind of like finally gonna feel the effect of the Jyamato, something like that. So this is really crazy thing, because like the thing that people complain about, like, hey, that leads to nowhere, Buffer doesn't have any consequences at all. Right now we are actually gonna get the consequences of Buffer itself in a V cinema. So I'm not sure how the story is gonna go, because if you really think about it, like him getting affected by the JAMA virus right now seems kind of like, how is it gonna link to him getting a new rice buckle? I'm not sure how does he even get a new rice buckle. Like, the only way that we know that is possible is Ukyo-S actually created a new rice buckle for Buffer itself. Maybe it is for him to kind of like stabilize his power as a Jyamato, kind of like, instead of using the Jyamato power to slowly kill him or slowly kind of like turn him into a monster, it is eventually gonna make him into a kind of like something else, like a good guy, something like that. Because that is kind of like the story of Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider, the first Kamen Rider story is about an evil organization created a augmentation of Bata, and it actually got turned into a good guy. So maybe we're gonna see something similar with the Jyamato in Michi Naga's body was supposed to be evil, but because of Ukyo-S, we are actually gonna see Buffer's Jyamato power became his new power, and that is why we actually get to hear the sound effect of liberation for the rice buckle of Plosion Rash itself. Okay, but then again, that is just a theory, and liberation could actually be a new rice buckle that they are gonna introduce. So we are not sure. Okay, all of this, like I said, is just speculation. I could be wrong, definitely, for sure, but let me move on to the next thing. Next, we get to see Tycoon back in action once again, and we can clearly see that this is not the Jyamato that Daichi actually raised, because the Jyamato that Daichi raised, all of them have sunflower on their head, but this one is the OG Jyamato. They don't have any like sunflower on their head at all. So this is really interesting. And when we actually get to see Tycoon here, it doesn't seem like he's wearing any police uniform. Like, he doesn't seem to be employed. So maybe after 1 year of not watching Kamen Rider Geats, we might actually come back to Geats, come back to Tycoon, and actually find that, hey, he is still currently unemployed. Okay, so that is gonna be really fun. But let me move on to the next thing. Next, we get to see Neon Kurama back in action once again. So she kind of like sidekick a Jyamato falling down. Next, we get to see Ukyo-S. This Ukyo-S is still like the black hair Ukyo-S using Geats 9. So maybe when Jyamato returns, he also kind of like manifests himself into a physical form, and this is something that I don't actually mention in my last episode review, but I'm just gonna talk about this here. Give me some time to talk about this, because I think a lot of people kind of like is a little bit confused with the ending when Suelu's mask actually broke and we actually get to see Ukyo-S inside the kind of like the wardrobe of Suelu. A lot of people is like, what Nani the F just happened? Why is Suelu Ukyo-S, something like that? Suelu is not Ukyo-S, okay? Like the reason why they choose to portray it in that manner is to kind of like show us right now Ukyo-S is very, very similar to Suelu identity itself, because remember Suelu does, well, I actually mentioned this, and if you pay attention to the series you're gonna know this, like Suelu doesn't have a physical body when he is actually outside of the DGP realm itself, like the pocket dimension. When he is outside of the pocket dimension, he doesn't have any body. He only have his kind of like cloth floating around and his mask floating around. So this is kind of like to show us that Suelu kind of represent kind of like a deity-like creature, something like that. And by showing us the mask breaking and S appearing underneath the mask of Suelu, it is to kind of like tell us that S has the ability similar to Suelu to manifest himself in the real world, something like that, okay? And it is also to kind of like show us that, hey, Suelu has been defeated and S just want to be cheeky and to kind of like appear maybe appear in the body of Suelu's, like something, using the body of Suelu to create a physical manifestation of himself, something like that. But that is just a theory. I'm not sure like what is the real reason why he actually appear underneath the mask of Suelu. But definitely Suelu is not Ukyo-S. Next thing we get to see is BEROBA, okay? So this is really crazy. BEROBA looks really different here. Like her face looks fake. I don't know how to say this, but this face looks very plasticky. I don't know why. Maybe deep fake. Why is it deep fake? I don't think it's deep fake, okay? Maybe it's just the lighting which makes the face looks really weird. Like it looks really weird, okay? So, and that maybe he just got darker because, you know, summer, something like that. But BEROBA is back, and this is where, when I actually talk about earlier on in the video, like BEROBA could actually not be dead, okay? Because like when we actually got to when we get to see them get defeated, they disappeared, just like how Gilori disappeared, how like just like how Chiram actually disappeared. But another thing that I want to talk about is this trailer. If you listen to the narrator, the voice that narrates the trailer is Niram. Niram was shot by Samas. So what the hell just happened there? What the hell just happened there? I don't know, man. Like, is Niram still alive? Because if Niram is alive, like the implication, the consequences is like gone. Why do we even care that Niram got shot by Samas in the first place? And that is like one of the best scenes, man. Like that's like so impactful to the story itself. And now Niram is alive. So I have a strong feeling that this could actually be an alternate ending, or maybe this might not actually, I'm not sure, okay? It might, just a speculation, it might not actually take place after the series ended. I don't know, but I don't know, man. I think this is definitely gonna be an after story. It's not gonna be an in-between story. So, but I don't know why I even suggested that it might not be an after story, but yeah. Next, we get to see finally the Plosion Rash Rice Buckle in action. We actually get to see our boy here using it. Really crazy stuff. So it is a really huge zombie hand, and they actually henshin by kind of like closing it together. Maybe like he's gonna break open the hand. The hand eventually is gonna open up, just like what we're gonna see next in when they introduce the rice buckle. But now let us talk about the suit itself. Okay, so obviously we got the Jamashin horn of Buffa. And then we actually get to see something really, really interesting. Someone actually pointed out that the chest piece of Buffa, this new form of Buffa, the chest piece actually belongs to the newly designed Kamen Rider revised Kamen Rider Live using the revised driver itself. Okay, is I don't know. It's just I don't know. It looks okay. I love it. I love Buffa in this form. Love the silver color, and the purple Jyamato vine, something like that. So it looks really, really amazing. Love the black horn as well. So props to that. Maybe a possibility here is that when we see the black horn, it will actually mean that Buffa is, you know, like in a berserk mode. But when his horn turned golden color, it might be him gaining back control. That is just a theory. I could be wrong. But next thing we need to talk about is it's gonna get released on 24th of July next year. Okay, like I'm not sure like why are we getting this new 11 months earlier, but this is what we get. Okay, I think they want to ride the hype train before the hype train dies, so that is really, really good. Yep, this is how the rice buckle is gonna open up, and we get to see Buffa inside, and we get to see something really interesting is the logo and that's actually circle around the belt, the red color thing. That is a Jyamato symbol. Okay, so it actually gave me an idea that this new rice buckle is not only gonna have the power of the zombie, but it's also gonna have the power of Jyamato itself. Okay, so this is gonna be really, really fun. I can't wait to see how things are gonna go and why we even got all of these things happening in the first place. How is BEROBA back? How is Niram back? Like, why is the Jyamato evil again? Like, maybe someone kind of like wish the world to be evil once again. We are not sure, but really, really crazy stuff here. Next thing, I think we are gonna see a really, really interesting look on Ukyo S. He is back, but this time he is back in the white hair form. Okay, and the eye color went back to blue. So what is happening here? And he's using a new Geats 9 rice buckle. Is black and gold. So like I said, there is a possibility that this could actually be an alternate timeline. Just a thought, okay? Just a thought. Alternate timeline, and this time the villain is gonna be Ukyo S. I don't know. Just a theory. Crazy stuff, okay? Really, really crazy stuff here. But I have a strong feeling that this golden and the black and gold rice buckle of Geats 9 is gonna be just kind of like the suit is gonna be a repaint of Cross Geats itself. Okay, it's not gonna be a newly designed suit itself, because the Cross Geats suit and the Geats 9 suit has a little bit of differences in their suit design. So I would think that they are only gonna just reuse the Cross Geats suits rather than making an entirely new one. Okay, but with that being said, I think that is all from the trailer itself. So hope you enjoy what you see here. It's a really, really fun trailer for me to talk about, and this is especially fun when we actually just finish watching the finale of Geats. But with that being said, we have to wait. We have to wait for so long, man. Like so long, like almost 1 year, man. Almost 1 year just to watch the V Cinema. Hopefully in the meanwhile we get to see more spin-off from Kamen Rider Geats, just to remind us that Geats is still here, and Geats is like not forgotten, something like that. I think by the time this time of next year, Gacha is gonna end, man. Like Gacha might actually end like before this V Cinema actually got released. So I don't know, man. Like really, really crazy thing here. But that is all from me. Hope you enjoy. If you love what you see, you know what to do. Subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Goodbye.